Good morning, class.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Last meeting, I have given you an assignment, right? That is for you to conduct an interview with an elderly in your community and ask them about a scientific and technological development that created a large impact on their lives. So this time, I will be calling you one by one to present the information you have gathered. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But before we start, let me tell you what my Lola has told me as I talked to her last night. So I asked the same question as your assignment to her. According to her, the invention that made an impact on her life is the planchang di uleng. My Lola said that this tool really improved their confidence as it helped them to make their clothes presentable. She even said that as women, it became their leisure activity. Besides, planchang di uleng doesn't need electricity to function, unlike the modern flat irons. According to my Lola, it is a proof that people can survive in the past even with the absence of electricity. So that is what my Lola has shared to me. Now let us proceed to what you have prepared. Let us begin with you, Charmaine.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. I also interviewed my grandmother. She remembered how busy people were during the daytime, but when the night fell, the once buzzing streets would be emptied, and only the hushed whispers of dinner-time stories and small talks could be heard from the verandas or dining rooms of every home. With only the kerosene lamp or the gasera and the lit candles that burned to illuminate the hours of darkness, it is a common routine for families to gather around the table and eat dinner together, engage in light conversations, and pray the 6 o'clock prayer. Before, people would retire earlier than most people would nowadays since there's nothing much to do. Now we all know about the flourishing nightlife in almost every town or city. So my Lola said that it was the incandescent bulb and the fluorescent lamp that really made a huge impact in her life.
Very well, Charmaine. Next, may I call on Herbie.
Good morning, everyone. The person that I interviewed is my aunt, and according to her, it is a cell phone that gave a big impact to her life. While she was answering my question, she reminisced all her past experiences back then when cell phones were not yet available. She remembered using walkie-talkie, going to the city just to use a payphone, and waiting for the mailman to send and receive the letters. She observed a big difference from the past to the present, where almost all transactions are of reach with just a click in our cell phones. She noted the convenience that the cell phone brought to all of us.
Thank you, Herbie. Indeed, cell phones created a huge impact in all of our lives. Now, let us go with Christine.
Hi one and all, according to my father, the development that has made a large impact in their lives is the invention of a radio. Just to tell and just to share, my father is a music lover and he is also a singer, sana all. So every morning he always listens to his favorite love songs, usually the old but gold ones that are being played on the radio. And moreover, since Albay is a province that is very prone to tropical cyclones, radio served as a great help so they can stay updated with current news about the disaster. He always gets information on whether the typhoon already had passed the province or not. And he also shared to me that radio made their lives better and at peace since they don't have smartphones yet and they can't afford to buy phones that already has radio in it. He also added that listening to radio already became his coping mechanism since it is always brown out in their area. Thank you.
Very nice, Christine. I can say that until now, listening to radio really hits different. Let us now listen to John Bird.
Good morning, everyone. It is my Lola that I have interviewed for this task. And with her statement, the scientific development that made an impact to her life is the electricity. My Lola noted how helpful it was when electric supply has reached their area in the past. She observed the changes that electricity made to their daily living, from being able to have light at night that enabled them to work even if it is already dark, to being able to utilize home equipment that are powered by electricity to function. According to my Lola, electricity truly made life easier. She even left me with a reminder that developments like this must not be taken for granted. Rather, must be something that be given importance.
Such a wonderful reminder from your Lola Johnbert. We will take note of that. For now, let us listen to Jean Claudia.
Thank you, ma'am. As I talked to my mother regarding our task, she said that it is the bicycle that created a huge impact in her life, especially back when she was in high school. My mother grew up not having the privileges that others have. She walked 6 kilometers just to reach her school, as transportation is very limited in their place back then. That caused her to be late most of the time in school. But the struggle did not end there. Struggle is real coming back home. Imagine a young lady walking home alone at night. Thankfully, her mom, my Lola, was able to purchase a bicycle for my mother. From then, my mother's journey to school has been a lot easier.
Thank you so much for that, Jean. May I call now Martin?
The person I interviewed was my father. According to him, the most significant technological invention was the internet. With the rise of the internet, he was able to communicate with his siblings around the world in a more proficient and affordable way. It enabled them to not just listen to each other's voices, but to see each other real time through video call. He also added that the way of living was way more easier because of the internet. Stuff concerning his professions are now being held online, thus giving him the opportunity to spend more time with us here at home. My father cannot help but be amazed with the invention of the internet.
Very well said, Martin. Internet truly changed the world. Now, let us listen to Ella.
Hi everyone! For my Lola, the television is the scientific and technological development that created an impact to her life. She described TV as magic, as it became a true source of entertainment for her after a tiring day at work. She also noted that TV is a good educational resource, especially for kids, as it teaches new language, vocabulary, and values. My Lola added that TV also influenced the way they think and decide, as it gave them an opportunity to have wider grasp of things, such as injustices, discrimination, and crimes against gender, race, and religion during their times, which greatly contributed to their empowerment.
Such a great work, Ella. Let us now proceed to our last presenter, James.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Similar with the others, it is my Lola that I have interviewed. As I asked her about the scientific technological development that made an impact into her life, first thing that entered her mind is the tractor. Farming is the primary source of living of my Lola's family. So she really experienced working the fields with my great-grandparents that made her exposed to how arduous the job is. That is why, according to her, since tractors became available for renting, their physical work in farming has been lessened. Before, they usually utilized carabaos to plow their fields. Given the slow-paced work of carabaos, plus it still requires manpower for control, hassle is real, according to my Lola. Thus, tractors brought efficiency to the livelihood of my Lola and has contributed to making their lives easier back then.
Thank you so much, James. To everyone, I am so proud of your outputs, class. Truly, science and technology and its development is a salient part of our lives. Nonetheless, I also want to remind you that this invention must be always used responsibly for the sake of common good. That's it for today's class. Goodbye. See you around.
Goodbye, ma'am!